Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are gonna be learning how to do silhouettes. So I have started a couple of weeks ago this playlist on how to learn how to draw, basically basic steps, so you can practice these exercises with your family at home, with your kids at home, with your brother, with your sister, with your parents, with your friends as well, if you want to do some kind of Sunday activity that is quiet and it's at home. And today I want to talk about silhouettes. I'm gonna put here the playlist because we have seen how to draw faces in 3 steps, very easy. How to draw bodies, very easy as well, with a couple of steps, with basic shapes that you can from there develop. If you want to have it more cartoon, if you want to have it more realistic, you just need to put more hours and more details into the drawings. We have learned as well how to draw line of action, and I think today is time to talk about silhouettes. I'm gonna mark more or less the space that we have to work today, that is gonna be here more or less. And basically, so you just have a concept or an idea of what we are talking today is a silhouette is basically the shape of a character, let's say, for example, and to be really nicely done, and especially in cartoon, let's say like Disney movies, for example, you need to be able to recognize the character with only seeing the silhouette. If, for example, I would say I'm gonna draw this here. We have learned how to draw faces. We do a circle, we do the V here. But if I would do this circle here, and then I would do these 2 circles here, then this is obviously like a very quick sketch. But if I would draw this, and then obviously I fill the space inside as a silhouette, you will be able to recognize that as the Disney character, as a Disney logo Mickey, okay? So there are brands that they adopted the main character theme, let's say like the mouse here in Disney, to become logo. Okay, to become brand. So that is very clever. Like this is something that Akira Toriyama, the great manga artist who created Dragon Ball, he has done the same. So Goku's hairstyle is very specific for him, and it plays exactly the same like Mickey's ears. Okay, so these 2 guys, when they will turn around, let's say that the character is, turning around to look at the other side, the hair is always looking the same, okay? The hair is not actually looking weird if we put it in 3/4 or if we put it like in perspective. It's gonna be always looking the same. Mickey as well, when he moves, the ears looks that they are kind of floating on the head, they are moving on the head, on the skull, to adapt to the view. And that is basically character design, and that is basically silhouette work. So you are always able to recognize who is in the screen, because those 2 guys, okay, they are the main characters, they are the brand. So how do we do this? Giving the example of I would say normal character that you want to design for yourself or for a children's book illustration or just for fun, something very recognizable, okay? Very quick before of that, I just want to make here in the corner so you understand as well the reference, because we have Mickey there, but I was talking about Goku, but we didn't draw Goku. But if you, for example, if I draw these lines here, if you love manga like me, like I love One Piece and Dragon Ball and Bleach and Naruto and everything, you will be able to recognize quite straight away, okay? Because Goku has this particular type of hair, and there's a couple of hairs here. This is obviously a very rough idea, a very rough sketch. I'm not actually gonna do the hair in detail, but especially when he's kid, the brand is created, like with Mickey, and then as we go forward in the story, Even when he transforms in Saiyajin, and the hair changes and it goes all up, like floating, and that's as well Akira Toriyama's brand, signature of characters, okay? So all his characters that are kind of evolving have this kind of trait with the Saiyajin concept, and the Saiyajins as well have a lot of lore with the hair, like in theory, this is weirdly done and weirdly explained in some of the latest kind of mangas, but if you read into the lore in theory, the Saiyajins, they always have the same type of hair, so it is actually embedded in the character that the hair is particular, okay? It's not like any kind of human. You see, for example, Bulma is gonna be showing various types of hairstyle because she's a human, and Akira Toriyama wants to portray that aspect, okay? But I think with these two examples, it is pretty clear that silhouette is very important in character design, okay? So let's do, for example, we practice line of action and everything as well. So let's say that I want to do some sort of a troll or something, okay? But I need to understand, for me, let's do the body like this. All of these steps I'm going a little bit quicker because you already know how to do it, okay? And you can click here on the right and see specifically bodies, on how to design bodies to be able to do this exercise. But basically, if you do something like a troll, something like a very big guy, like he's gonna be, I don't know, like this, something like this, okay, because he's maybe unbalanced or something, or laughing or something, okay. This, my character, I will not be able to recognize because this could be a troll, could be a giant, could be a lumberjack, could be a very big person, could be a panda. Many things play in game here, but if I start to adding characteristics to this guy, for example, he's gonna have very thick calves because the storytelling of this character is telling me that in this type of terrain the gravity is special, so this kind of race of people have developed a type of legs that are heavier, for example, or type of bones at the bottom of the body that are heavier than normal, so that's why they have kind of these this type of feet, no, like maybe like gorilla or something like that, okay? So this is just an example. And then this part is normal or normalish, let's say, okay? And then we will have this. And even like this you could see, okay, it's looking like gorilla, but when I'm trying to draw something different, for example, I can do the arms in a specific way. Let's say, for example, like this, okay, he's like maybe singing or something. This is in theory the mouth. I'm gonna follow the concept of Goku with the transformation design that he has when he's kid, with the Osaru face of transformation of the Saiyajin and everything, so we can actually play as well with that concept, okay? And we're gonna make a tail, okay? This is just kind of a similar concept. When you have characters like Osaru, or if you are not into manga but you like movies, for example, Godzilla, this giant creature, it's a creature that when he is destroying the city and everything, and he has the sun or the moon at the back, light at the back, you will see the silhouette of the body, and it's easily recognizable because that's how we play. Silhouette concept as well, there is a lot of history in China and in Japan of marionette theaters. Like they would used to do a silhouette theater where someone will be playing with cutout, like they will cut pieces, or they will cut wood pieces, and they will put it on sticks like this, and then they will move it behind a curtain, having a light, having a little bit of fire or a light next to it, so the people on the other side of the curtain will see how they move all these figurines and they create this stage, this kind of movie, let's say, okay? And very nice, very interesting, and it's worth to check something like that. Let's say that for the sake of creativity, my character is gonna have like a very big head, because we want, like Mickey, give some sort of design to the guy. Okay, we don't need to do any kind of features. We don't need to draw a mouth, or we don't need to draw the eyes, okay, because we are talking about silhouette here, and it needs to work. But I wanna kind of do something extravagant, so you are able to see that once we are kind of finished with this, I'm gonna just do it quick with, I'm just gonna grab my black that I have here, my black color, okay. Let's say, in a very quick way, that my character is this type of guy that is like a mix of a gorilla, a mix of a alien head, something like this, okay? For example, so let's say I created my IP, my original design, and my final character, okay, invented, obviously. It looks like something like this. And then the silhouette, I will make him like he is in a pose that he is maybe dancing or something. Like, all of it is connected. When we are character design, when we're doing character design, character development, everything is connected. If the character has a scar, that is important. If the character has a tail, that is important, like in Son Goku, okay? If the ears are this big, that, you know, mouse or rats, they don't normally have such a big ear in comparison, or such a round ear. This is a cartoonized version. Their hair normally doesn't stand like this. This is choices that you do when you are character designing something. But, so just so you have it kind of clear, I'm doing this very basic, in the sense of I am not gonna go into analyzing different types of silhouettes, but I'm 100% sure that if you see any kind of a specific creature, like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings, for example, the Balrog, you see a silhouette of the Balrog, and you should be able to differentiate him from another monster, or kind of dragonic monster. If you see, for example, the silhouette of Bart Simpson from the Simpsons series, the TV show, you are able to recognize him because the shapes of the body, very, very Bart Simpson brand. Okay, Homer is the same, Marge is the same, Lisa is the same, so all of them have their own design, so you are able to differentiate them. When you are drawing for a video game, creating something for a video game, for a real movie, they obviously are made with real people. And sometimes it's more difficult to achieve the concept of silhouette because you don't have the plasticity, okay, of the cartoony world or the caricature world, okay. But there are things like, for example, the type of hairs, the type of clothing that you can do as well to portray someone, like Goofy, for example, in Disney, that he is a caricaturized dog, that it behaves like a human. If you would, for example, change the design of the head, the design of the face, you change the nose and you put like a normal human nose, and you modify the ears and you do like tiny ears like here we have, then he is a human. But those traits make his silhouette, make his design appealing, and make the brand of Goofy in this case, okay? So here, as you can see, let's say that my character, for example, is gonna be singing, whatever, and when there is a scene in my animation, for example, or in my movie, I will see this guy straightforward, because this kind of monkey type of design, this heavier type of calves here, the tail, the big head like this, okay? Just so you have the concept of the design. If we draw something like, for example, if I draw something like this, I'm just gonna be quiet 1 second, but just by doing this shape, okay, this is very, very rough type of idea, but just by doing this shape, okay, I am 100% sure that you are able to recognize that this character or these basic shapes like this oval here and this rectangle, this is Stewie, okay, from another cartoon, very famous cartoon series. If you take something like, let's invent something else. Another day I should do a video about thumbnailing, because through thumbnailing, that is drawing kind of very small silhouettes of characters to see how they work together and how you can potentiate this kind of expression, no? Okay, so if I want to do someone that is going to be very big, Grangel Studio, I'm going to put the link in the show more section down there. Grangel Studio are the guys who designed the characters for movies like The Corpse Bride, Madagascar, Spirit, Prince of Egypt, and many, many more, okay? And these guys have, Carlos and Jordi Grangel, they have these exercises where they will deliver characters, and then they will put all of them in a lineup. Lineup is having this guy here, this guy here, this guy here, all of them in a line to see the size, to see how tall is this one in comparing to the other one. Some of them are fully designed, fully drawn, and at the beginning, when they are trying to outline the characters, they will do as well some silhouettes to define those characters. But let's say, for example, that another invented character for me, let's say it's gonna be like this. And putting as an example Oda, for example, okay? If you like One Piece, if you are watching this video, probably is because you like One Piece. Because half of the channel is One Piece, or maybe you came here because you are expecting to watch a One Piece video. But if I do a silhouette like this, okay? If I do a silhouette like this, and you are a fan of One Piece, and we're talking about cartoon, are you able to differentiate, to recognize who this guy is? Probably yes. Probably something like this. Very obviously, very rough and very quick drawing, but it needs to work. This, okay, is Tamago from the Big Mom Pirates, that he is a long leg guy. He has a very, very round body, very, very long legs like this, okay, and he has the power of transforming into a chicken, that the chicken transforms into another chicken, and things like this. So his particular design with the half egg here on the bottom, like he's wearing pants, but these not pants, it's like half egg, is his brand, his signature, okay? So he will have this kind of thing, and then the mustache as well, okay? So this is just an example. We have seen Mickey as an example, how it works. You see the silhouette here with the 3 circles, very easy. This is why as well, one of the reasons why brands like this or companies like this have such a tremendous success, because they simplify the forms, simplify what you need to see, okay? Just 3 circles are telling me a story of a company. It's telling me about Mickey Mouse, it's telling me about recognizing the silhouette very quick, okay? And then if you go into details, obviously you will do here the mouthpiece with the nose and everything, and you develop the whole character. But here, as I said, again, something like this, obviously, not following a pattern or anything, just drawing from imagination, but something like this, by drawing this kind of silhouette of the hair, we think of Dragon Ball, Son Goku, okay, Akira Toriyama, manga. So this is the best way to create a character and how it should be. If your character is a silhouette that you can't differentiate with another character or with another series or with another genre, that character, it doesn't work as good as it should work, okay? If you realize in video games, if the character is very human, like in League of Legends, World of Warcraft, you have different types of weapons. You can have maybe someone that is branding some axe. This, let's say that this is a typical axe. Because when I'm talking about learning how to draw silhouette, it's not always, or it's not alone the concept of character. It can be weapons as well, because the character is a warrior and he's gonna be having an axe, for example, or a rifle, or it's gonna be a hunter and he needs different types of knives for different scenarios. And this maybe is a fisherman that has a very funny hat because he needs protection from the area, something like this, okay? But let's say this is a normal, let's say normal axe, but I want to make it for World of Warcraft because I love World of Warcraft, and this is going to be a orc type of axe. So my axe is going to have more danger. It's going to have more spikes even, for example, here. And maybe this is a corrupt type of goblin or orc, okay? And I want this to have some sort of I don't know, magic around it, and it can even have some floating specifics about it. So when you are gonna present to your boss, to your art director, to your line manager, various ideas of an axe for an orc or a goblin that has some sort of magic in him, you can do various of these, okay, like this, for example, with spikes, for example, here, and it has like some thorns here or something, I don't know. It has like a ball here because if this breaks, you can turn it around and hit with the ball, very heavy ball. Many aspects to the concept of the silhouette design, okay? If you notice, all these videos on how to learn, I'm just going to move this a little bit like this so you can see the top, because I added the hat there, I don't know if you realized, but I just want to show you how you need to put a thought into it. When you are developing a project, when you are developing characters for a story, doesn't matter if it is a book, a movie, animation, a video game, as I said before. When you are developing a character, a weapon, an environment, it needs to match what's happening in the story, okay? If this, for example, this creature that is going to be wielding the axe of the goblin orc with magic, the environment, for example, he may come, let's do kind of like he may come from a dangerous land, that the mountains are kind of like this, okay, and then there are some pits of darkness like that, okay, and all of this is gonna be recognizable very easy with silhouette. When you are watching Lord of the Rings, the movie, for example, there is a lot of concept design and exploration made by Alan Lee and other creatives, that they were actually scouting locations, flying with a helicopter around to kind of find the nicest mountain that we could find, to put a castle on top, or to draw a castle on top, or to actually build a castle there for the recordings of the movie and everything. But, for example, if you see Minas Tirith in Lord of the Rings, you see the silhouette, you are able to recognize that building, that mountain and the formation as a Minas Tirith, because it's very peculiar, okay? If when Aragorn and they're arriving to the Argonauts, that they have these giant kings of the past, giant statues that they are kind of holding the entrance of the river to go into the waterfalls. As well as a silhouette, it works because it's very particular. You don't have giant soldiers like that in real life. There used to be a giant like that in Rhodes in Greece. You know, he was standing like this, and you have these massive creations that I don't know why nowadays they don't do things like this, because it's very epic, but I love it. When you are let's say that you are not into movies, you are not into video games, but you want to learn a little bit how to do these things, okay? And let's say you like to travel, for example, and then just by doing this, like this, you may recognize a very, very vague and very sketchy silhouette of a tower, or could be like Eiffel Tower, something like this. If we do something like this, you could recognize something like the Big Ben in England as well, okay, or if you go for the concept of the Colosseum, for example, everything is made in a way that silhouettes, because of the shapes, because of the basic shapes that they are easily recognizable. Like in Sydney as well, the Opera House and everything, that they has this pointy design and everything, okay? I think just to finish, because I don't want to be doing this video very long, let's kind of do another one, like invented, like I will say, if for example I want to do, let's do a character that it needs to stand out, like for example, it could be something like this, okay? It could be I'm doing a story about dinosaurs, and I need to develop a Brontosaurus, okay, this dinosaur that has this massive neck, this very long neck, but I want him to be maybe goofy, so it can be a little bit like this is kind of a little bit like a snake looking, and the head is like this, okay, and then I have the tiny body, because obviously I'm cartoonizing the dinosaur, and the dinosaur like this, it never existed, but I'm cartoonizing him. He has long legs like this, okay, and then the hands, maybe he can even have a hat as well. So if this for whatever reason is smoking a pipe, something like this, okay. So if for whatever reason this project goes ahead and I fully develop the silhouette of this character, and I have a character design finished of him, it could be very easily recognizable, because for example this type of Brontosaurus is not gonna have the neck straight ever, because it's his character. He's maybe more goofy or more wobbly on the kind of, the neck is more wobbly. And when it goes into production and everything, and you are able to see this kind of TV show at home, and you see him talking, you will recognize him, like Bart Simpson. You see the silhouette of Bart Simpson, it can only be Bart Simpson, okay? You can always have the creator of the series playing with the silhouettes and maybe use the same silhouette to modify the character and add some kind of evil twin, like we have Hugo as well in some of the episodes in The Simpsons and things like that. But when you are creating as well, you have evil Mickey as well in Disney and everything, but when you are talking about character design and silhouette, this is something very important. So the shape, when you are doing cartoon, is gonna be defining how your character is gonna look and if your character is gonna work. If my guy is fighting, if this guy is fighting this guy in the middle of the night and there is only a small light at the background, I will be able to follow the fight because I know who is he and what type of fight they have, for example, okay? If this guy is walking in the middle of London because he needs to move from point A to point B, I will recognize him only by silhouette because he's smoking the pipe, his neck is like this, moving wobbly like a snake, he has this kind of peanut tiny body as well, and move like this with the hands in the pockets, for example. I can even do like, he has like a Dracula type of neck here as well, things like this, okay? So this is just kind of a very basic explanation of silhouette and why a silhouette needs to work. And if the silhouette is not working, the character most probably will not work for the story that you want to develop. So you need to kind of make sure that the character is nice, yes, and the character is touching and having all the attributes that you want, if it is a warrior, if it is a scientist, if it is an explorer, anything that you want. And at the same time, you need to work with the silhouette to see, the hat that I'm making this guy, this hat is too similar to this hat. What is the reason for that? What type of hat is going to be this? It's going to be like kind of a top hat. It's going to be a gentleman. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. I want to represent a country as well, maybe with my drawing, with this object or no. So all of these things play a very important role in the drawing concept, okay, when you are learning to draw, so you can differentiate. And as I said, we go back to the very beginning of the video here. There it is, one of the most recognizable heads in cartoon history, in movie history, in animation history, okay, and that's another one, same, but in manga, anime, in Japanese, in Oriental culture, okay? So we have a very easy and simplistic design for, American design. And another one here for a Japanese design. We have done some invented characters here. We have done some simplified silhouettes as well to see Stewie as well. We have seen Tamago there from One Piece because he has a very particular shape, and the hair matters, the volume of the body matters, the type of weapons that we are going to be drawing matters as well, because maybe by the weapon, because the character is carrying always that axe, I'm able to recognize the character. Or maybe, like you can have in some of the games, like League of Legends, for example, the weapon is the character, and the weapon has an eye here in the middle, okay, because he's an evil spirit possessing the weapon that can let's say, possess as well the body of the person who is carrying the weapon. Things like this, okay? So it needs to have some magic flying around in the silhouette, okay? So environments, famous places like Coliseum, Big Ben, like very simplistic ideas. But silhouette is paramount when you are designing. I think we are finished for today. I just want to sign here. Let's sign with the pen better. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandrago's Cave. I hope you understood the concept. I'm happy to answer any kind of question, or if you want more videos about silhouettes, seeing other examples, or maybe drawing the Simpsons so you can see specifically who is who, and or maybe showing you a printout of some characters that you can see. I don't think it's needed, because I think this is quite clear, but I could do it as well. We can do even exploration with thumbnails and see things like this, small like this, how they would match different characters, or take an existent character and make a artifact, a weapon, an object for him or her, or place him in an environment like this, like you will have an environment matching to the character, depending on the character design. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the video for today, and I hope you learn a little bit of something today with this explanation, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.